Welcome back to Istora Senayan. It is quarterfinals day here at the Indonesia Open, one of the 4 Super 1000 events on the HSBC BWF World Tour. Well, next up we've got women's doubles, and it features number 4 seeds Muralitharan and Muralitharan up against Iwanaga and Nakanishi of Japan. Well, this is the women's doubles draw from the quarterfinal stage. 7 seeds. We only started with 7, so all 7 seeds made it through to the quarterfinal stage. 5 different nationalities, making it the least diverse, along with women's singles, of all 5 disciplines. 2 pairs from China, 2 from Korea and 2 from Japan in that quarterfinal lineup. The 2 Chinese pairs have safely made it through to the semi-final stage tomorrow, but who will join them? So both pairs making their way onto court, and I can tell you that this will be a 7th meeting between these 2 pairs. Of the previous 6, the Malaysians have won 4. But the last time that they met, it was in the quarterfinal of the Denmark Open last year. That was a 750 event, and it was 2 straight games to Iwanaga and Nakanishi, who not only won that quarterfinal, they went on to win the entire tournament,
and also
the Denmark Open. In fact, it was the 5th of 5 titles last year for this Japanese pair.
You won the toss. What your choice? We serve, fairly serve. We receive.
So I think the Malaysians have won the toss and have chosen to serve.
12-11.
So the Japanese pair, a left and right-handed combination. And this is Rin Iwanaga. I turned 26 last month from Yanai in Yamaguchi Prefecture. And they went up 1 place on the world ranking after being in the final of the Singapore Open last week. Went up to number 5, but they have been 1 place higher than that. Nakanishi, the left-hander, is 29 years of age. And they've had their injury problems this year. Only 3 tournaments played, only 2 of them at World Tour, plus the Asia Championships. Well, they won both of their matches in 2 straight games. One of only 3 of the 8 women's doubles pairs in the quarterfinal not to have had a 3-game match to reach the quarterfinal. Muralitharan is 25 years of age from Kedah, and they're enjoying their 5th consecutive week as world number 4s. That's the highest that they've ever been. They are number 2 on the race to the World Tour finals as we look at Muralitharan, at 27 years of age from Selangor. And she's a former national women's singles champion. 2 finals for them so far this year. They won in Thailand just 3 weeks ago and reached the final in this very stadium, the Indonesian Masters. Well, they had a real battle in yesterday's match against Mayasari, and Ramadanti came from 15-17 down in the deciding game, winning 6 straight points to close it out 21-17. So our court officials for this one, Helen Sari from Indonesia and Sudip Babe from India. I'm Jill Clark, delighted to say that sitting alongside me, as he's been for the last 2 weeks in both Singapore and here in Indonesia, is former Danish head coach Steen Pedersen. And we know, Steen, that the Japanese pair are playing well. And of course, Muralitharan and Muralitharan are always an exciting pair to watch. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, absolutely. some of the same playing styles between these two pairs here. It should be interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Rin Iwanaga and Nakanishi, Japan. And on my left, Muralitharan and Muralitharan, Malaysia. Muralitharan to serve to Nakanishi. Lobo. Play.
So it is the Malaysians, Muralitharan and Muralitharan, nearest to us getting this quarter-final underway against Rin Iwanaga and Nakanishi.
Left.
Well, the Japanese pair making their third appearance here at the Indonesia Open. First time they've been beyond the second round. Oh, that's good play by the Malaysians. Fourth appearance for the Malaysians and their second quarter-final. They were quarter-finalists last year when they lost out to Chen Cheng and Jia Yifan, who went on to reach the final. Well, it's been 9 years since a women's doubles pair from Malaysia contested the semi-final here at the Indonesia Open. And those 9 years ago, it was Vivian Hu and Rin Ki Wei. Oh, that's a little wild on the return of serve from Iwanaga.
4-1.
What do you think is going to be the key here, Steen?
I really don't have a good take on it so far. I think it's really, really interesting. The Japanese pair played really well in the drifty conditions last week in Singapore. They've had an easier road to this quarterfinal here, so I'm not really sure where they stand here in Indonesia, where there's also a lot of drift in the stadium, but a little bit different than Singapore. The interesting matchups is perhaps the Japanese defense, which seems a bit more solid than the Malaysians, where the Malaysians, they're very creative in the defense. But what's going to be the key factor? That's still a little bit in the dark for me. Whether it's better to be really solid or it's better to be a little bit extra creative. If the most creative players can get some good decisions, not take too big chances, then I think that's the advantage, and that sort of speaks for Tan and Muralitharan.
Brilliant. Well, talking of creativity, last two rallies from Muralitharan, wonderful examples. I like that serve too.
Yeah.
Japanese. That's well left. Of course, the Japanese pair are hitting with the lengthways drift at the moment. And the sideways drift from left to right as we look down on the court during the rallies.
Very good start for the pair from Malaysia. And I think perhaps they're a little bit more sort of up in the right pace of play given their two previous matches, whereas for the Japanese pair, they've had quite convincing victories, and that's perhaps quite nice when you come from a final in Singapore and have to travel and so on, but it might take a while to just sort of get you in the right gear again.
Yeah. Well, it has been a blistering start by the Malaysians. 10-3 advantage, and that's going to go wide as well. Make that 11-3. We're already at the mid-game interval, and we've only played for 5 minutes. So this a run of 7 straight points. I should think the Malaysians didn't really want the mid-game interval. Have to take it, of course, but they were on such a roll, Steen, that sometimes it can be disruptive.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting to see what Iwanaga and Nakanishi are going to do here. They've got to try and work themselves a little bit into this match here, but super play by Muralitharan. I think the Japanese, they've got to battle a little bit more for the initiative. It's really hard to play defense with accuracy in Istora Senayan here.
Don't I recall Iwanaga and Nakanishi being 10-1 down in a match last week?
Semi-final,
exactly,
I think.
Against the world #1s.
Yeah.
So don't write them off yet.
Same thing as the service judge called here, that it looked quite high. I don't have any measuring device, but sometimes you get a feeling that it looks a bit higher than normal.
Well, the worrying thing, if you're a Japanese fan, is the ease with which the Malaysians are winning these points.
Yeah, it's like whatever game plan they had, like Nakanishi and Iwanaga, it's they haven't gotten it to work. Good play.
Well, she's going to challenge. If that's caught the line, then it is certainly a contender for shot of the day.
I think we've got a glimpse into what the Japanese are trying to do. They're not going to battle for the attack. It's the opposite. They're going to lift extremely high in the opening of the rally.
Well, I couldn't see that shuttle land at all because the net post was in the way.
Yeah, exactly. We couldn't see it there either.
Just right.
Well, that's why we have a line judge on each side of the court. Oi, oi, oi. One of the biggest errors we've seen playing into the sideways drift.
Gosh, that's good, isn't it? Perfect smash. 3 points away from this opening game. Muralitharan and Tina Muralitharan. Well, considering these two pairs are ranked 4 and 5 on the world ranking, just 1 place difference, I wasn't expecting a scoreline like this in the opening game.
Neither did I. I expected a very, very close match.
We might still have it, but certainly not in this opening game. That time, it was perfect. Hit it wide at 15-5. This time, absolutely perfect. So, game point opportunities galore. One will do. 21-6 opening game in favour of the number 4 seeds Muralitharan and Tina Muralitharan. Opening game, just about 12 minutes. Absolutely extraordinary. Just about a perfect opening game by the Malaysians.
Semua benda second so apa yang nak buat smash berani untuk cari bola saja. Dia nak tukar game apa jangan kacau apa-apa. Mesti main benda yang sama. Pressure dia saja, sabar saja. Kawan mereka tak sabar. Receive 相手を完全に狙われてるこう自然こっち配球するそのままいけるからすぐコースをポジションをチェンジする。これ頭の中に。
For 1, 20 seconds. For 1, 20 seconds. game. Love all. Play.
So just 12 minutes for the opening game, 21-6 in favour of Muralitharan and Tina Muralitharan
It's already
for Malaysia. That's gone wide. Well, Steen, I hope the Japanese pair of Iwanaga and Nakanishi, they were given the choice of ends because their opponents chose to serve. I hope they chose what they thought was the more difficult end first.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, psychologically, it's going to be tough.
The thing is, they can play the defense and the flat game with a little more confidence from this near end here, but they're also facing a much tougher attack. And I think the Malaysians, they have a chance to shock their opponents if they can continue this. If they have to play defense, play it a little bit flat so they can counter and then simply attack all out in the opening stages here of the second game. Let's go. Ooh. Taken by the sideways drift.
Service over. 1, 2.
And here I would like to see the Malaysians have a lot of variation in their attacks when they get on the attack. Straight, cross, middle. So the Japanese don't really get a chance to settle down and get back in this match. Clever play.
Nice change of pace. And the one thing I did think might be a factor, Steen, before this match got underway was the fact that the Malaysians are playing in their 4th tournament in 4 weeks. 3 weeks ago, they won the Thailand Open. Then they were semi-finalists at their home event, the Malaysian Masters, quarter-finalists last week. So at least a quarter-final in all 4 tournaments. That's a lot of badminton.
It is, and they've been made to work harder than their opponents in the opening matches here. So in terms of a long match, perhaps, who knows if the mental fatigue would kick in.
Service over.
But in this first game here, it almost doesn't count as a game. It was too easy.
Service over. 3-0.
I don't know if it's deliberate from Iwanaga and Nakanishi, but it seems like they've been targeting Muralitharan in the attack. Tan, the more adventurous in the defense, but also where mistakes can occur and opportunities can be given to the front court player.
Nice smash from Tina.
Service over. 4-3.
Do you make that comment just as an observation, or do you think that that's the right to target her?
It depends. It's a little bit of a gamble, because if she really hits it, you can see if the previous one that sat in the top of the table, if that had gone over, it would have been really, really dangerous for Nakanishi and Iwanaga. So it depends what you're trying to accomplish. If you want to score some points in the offense, then it's okay. But if you want to make sure that you're not counter-attacked, then it's perhaps a bit more risky. Oi, misunderstanding.
Yeah, totally. I think Tina looked to me as if she was going to come out and use the rotational play, and then she stopped.
And she should have gone for it.
Yeah. Yeah, we can all be wise after the event, though.
That's one of our key competences.
I think there's signs in the second game that the Malaysians have stopped going all-out attack as they did in the first. And I don't mean by hitting hard, I mean by taking the shuttle early and just poking the shuttle in a downward direction.
And it's understandable because, I mean, they cannot play the flat game pushes with the same kind of confidence, but if they're above tape level, they can easily give it a little bit extra and get it in a downward direction. Yeah, that's good service return.
Super. That's what they were doing so well in the opening game, setting up the front court player and the change of pace. That's a beauty. Nope, that's not a beauty.
Service over. 7-6.
That's nice.
It's going wide.
Oh, what she... Oh, my goodness. How lucky was that from Muralitharan. That was going wide, Steen. I'm with you on that. She watches it and watches it. And then plays a funny-looking backhand that hits the top of the tape and trickles over.
And from the replay, it actually looked like it would have landed in the middle of the tram lines to the right side there, so it might have been wise that she played it. But I thought initially that it was going to go way wide.
I still believe it would have gone wide. We'll never know, will we?
No.
That's nice.
Wide.
Only just.
Yeah. This is quite an okay start to the second game for the Japanese. I mean, scoring only 6 points in the first game, you can't expect to just be sort of rolling from the go in the second. Now they would look to create a little cushion of 2 or 3 points. Yeah. I really think the Malaysians, they should be piling on the pressure. I would like to see Muralitharan use a cross smash. I think she's going way too much straight when she's attacking.
This time her drop shot hits the top of the tape and pulls back her side. Wow. I'm not sure if that was entirely meant, but it was absolutely excellent. Their lifts, I think, are a little tentative, the Malaysians, and they're lifting very short.
Yeah.
And I think it's that fear of hitting long when you're hitting with the drift.
Yeah, I agree. And the Japanese in the first game tried to solve it by lifting extremely high, so that's an option, but it's also an option to play it even more flat and have a more offensive defense stance.
Super. There's the creativity on the defence that you were talking about earlier from Muralitharan.
It comes after a flat lift where the Japanese put pace in the shot used against them.
So 10-all. That was a better lift. Well, it is the Japanese combination who have the advantage at the mid-game interval here in the second game. Malaysians, though, having won the first. So just 1 point the advantage to Iwanaga and Nakanishi here in the second game. Good flick serve. Oh, that was a very tame defence from Muralitharan on occasion. That's a super interception.
There was the cross match from Muralitharan.
Super goal.
There's a couple of challenging rallies for the Japanese defense there. I think they've got to go for the initiative.
Gosh, that's way out the back.
Service over. 13-12.
That's well judged.
Service over. 13-0.
Oh gosh, that's a good shot. Not only the angle and steepness of shot, the vision to see that's where the gap was.
Oh, that's a beauty. Played down the back of Iwanaga. Look at this. Simply couldn't get to return it. Great defense.
Oh, lucky net cord.
They needed that. Iwanaga and Nakanishi.
Rin serve.
Oh, that's found the gap well. This is a good rally, good intensity. Yeah, that's well left.
Service over. 16-14.
So 6 of the last 8 points to
Go it.
Tan and Tina.
Go it. Go it. Wait. Thank you.
Not worrying moments for Iwanaga and Nakanishi.
14.
Let's see if they change their strategy. Good flick. Super flick.
It's difficult, though, with the Japanese pair when you've been out injured for so long and you have a really good tournament last week and expend a lot of energy. You're not used to match play week after week when you've been out. Maybe they're suffering a little bit from that.
And they're facing tough opposition who is thriving in these conditions where you can't play overly defensive.
17.
Super good court coverage by Tan and Tina. They're very, very mobile. Good rotational play. But Nakanishi, Iwanaga still hanging in there.
Yeah, that's a super shot from Iwanaga.
17. Really?
Just 1 point in it. Do you know, that block from Muralitharan was absolutely superb, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Call out.
Well, challenge here from the Japanese pair. And I think that's more of a tactical challenge.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it was clearly long. Wait, there's some strapping on the left thigh of Nakanishi.
Here we go. Way long. Definitely a tactical challenge.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 chance remaining. Service over. 18-16. Play.
3 points away from ending a 9-year wait for a Malaysian pair in the women's doubles semi-final here at the Indonesia Open. Nice rotational play, lovely angle. Unbelievable! How on earth did the Japanese pair win that?
Service over.
Well,
18.
Tina will be absolutely kicking herself with this miss. They were in all sorts of trouble.
Thank you.
Twice from a lying or sitting position, Nakanishi. That could be a lifesaver.
Well, it could just change the momentum of this match.
Yeah.
Play. Play on.
Oh my goodness. A service error
Service over.
from Iwanaga.
19-17.
And now it's a 2-point advantage and 2 points away from the semi-final for the Malaysians. Match point opportunities, 3 of them, to end a 9-year wait for a Malaysian pair to reach the semi-final here at the Indonesia Open. Well, both went for the same defensive shot.
18-20.
Got in each other's way. This time, second time of asking. And Muralitharan and Tina Muralitharan come through what I thought would be an extremely tricky quarter-final against Rin Iwanaga and Kia Nakanishi. 21-6 the opening game, 21-18 the second, in a match lasting just 37 minutes. Steen, that was impressive.
Yeah, it was. They simply shocked the Japanese, and when they tried to make a comeback in the second, Nakanishi and Iwanaga, the door got slammed close at 10-12. Look at the joy.
Confirmation of that scoreline. Muralitharan and Tina Muralitharan. 21-6, 21-18, and they'll play against Lee Yi-jung and Luo Xiuming in the semi-final tomorrow. Welcome back to Istora Senayan, probably the most iconic badminton venue in the whole world. Here in Jakarta for quarterfinals day at the Indonesia Open. After that women's doubles, we turn our attention to men's singles and the European champion against the world champion, Alex Lanier of France, up against the new world number one, Kumawut Widisan. As far as the men's singles draw is concerned, you can immediately see 6 different flags because there's 3 players